Welcome back to Snorkeling in Belize. This is a beautiful flounder that we saw right when we got in the water. Snorkeling in Belize definitely exceeded all my expectations. The water was warm, the reefs were extensive and shallow for so far, and there were so many animals and so much to see that this video is the longest one I've ever made. 5 minutes long, and the reason it's this long is because this snorkel was hours long and there was just so much. Believe it or not, this is the edited version and these are the highlights. So I did cut it down for you guys. I love getting up close to the coral and seeing the polyps on the coral. So many different types of coral, the hard corals and the soft corals, and I'm really enjoying learning about them and the whole ecosystems, the micro ecosystems that they are. The barracuda, you can't tell in the video the scale or the sizes of a lot of these animals. Like this one looks pretty big, but he's actually a little guy. But then when you go back to the barracuda, which you'll see, there he is, or she, the barracudas actually can get up to like 6-8 feet long, so they're quite big. I love these anemones, and they're just gorgeous. So throughout this video, you're just going to see one animal after another. This one I had a hard time identifying, and I really don't think it's a gold-bellied damsel, but it sure looks like one. The triggerfish, there was a ton of gigantic triggerfish, and when I say gigantic, I mean like, 2 feet, 2.5 feet. Oh, love the squirrelfish. They are so cool. When you get close to them or you startle them, they throw their spines up. So I was constantly chasing them. Ooh, nurse shark. Constantly chasing the fish around the reef. And the group that I was with, I highly recommend. It's called Island Expeditions. And we actually stayed for 8 days on an atoll. We got to camp there. Some scissortail chromis, I think. Queen triggerfish. Look at all these fish. Just hanging out by the coral. All that sand being created by the parrotfish. Ooh, a spiny lobster. So cool. So basically this is a video of me just chasing fish around with my camera. I love that the blue tang is actually yellow when it's young. And there's Holly, the reason that I went to Belize to celebrate her birthday with her. And I'm so glad she invited me on this trip. Thank you, Holly. See, doesn't this guy look big? But then, as I chase him, and you start to see, well, later in the video, you'll see he's actually pretty small. This guy was big. He was about dinner plate size, I would say. Big dinner plate. Maybe 14 inches. The butterfly fish, big blue tang surgeon fish. I kept poking things thinking they were feather dusters, but they weren't. This is my favorite fish of the whole trip, called the rock beauty. I love the black lipstick. Like, does that mean it's a goth fish or what? But what a beautiful fish. Those bright colors. Another hard coral. And then I had to slow down the video for you guys to see these gobies. Almost transparent. Now here's the trunkfish that looked big in the other video. But then when you see the hand next to it, you realize he's actually just a little guy. But they have such an odd shape to them. In the identification books, they're actually referred to as odd-shaped swimmers. What a cool looking animal. And at the very end, a lionfish under the rock. An invasive fish trying to get rid of. Thanks for joining.